Well, I started at American Family about 2.5 years ago, and when I was hired, it was to create a department, a strategy. I really came here first of the year with a fresh attitude. Spent the first months really talking to stakeholders and determining what the strategy was going to be. Then kind of came up with, based on that strategy, what the objectives were going to be, the tactics, and then to the level of where we defined what the team was going to be. And so my team today, the social media team, is 8 folks.
Where you're at today?
Well, the really interesting thing is that as new as social media feels to everyone, uh, social media, like at the enterprise level, where you're coming up with a strategy for an organization with 8,000, 10,000, 20,000 people, it's that much more challenging. And many of the tools to do that even now don't exist. And so what you need to do is, as you're defining your tactics, it becomes one of these scenarios where you need to really look at each situation and see whether the right choice is to, can you borrow something? Is there a social network or a tool that's out there? Can you buy it? And if you can buy it, can you buy it at a price that scales to 8,000 or 10,000 people? Or the last option, which is, do you need to build it? And, we've got a lot of experience on all three of those, but it's the building side of it that is almost required once you start working at the enterprise level.
Around.
Well, a couple of things, really. Now, at American Family, we've been doing social media now for about a year and a half with our agent workforce. So we've got 3,800 agents, and all of them can create social media destinations in the program that we have. And we actually worked with a company called Shoutlet and developed a publishing system for our company that allows the agents to just do their own social media stuff. So we actually spend a fair amount of time educating and mentoring agents, which would be a small business owner. So a couple of tools that are out there and available that we've learned about over time to really respect. One of them would be social mention, right? So one of the things you want to do when you're starting out with a social media strategy is really spend that time to listen to what people are saying. Sometimes it's about your brand. If it's a small business, maybe it's just about your industry, learning what your customers are saying and talking about. And we've tried tools of varying levels of sophistication. So Buzzmetrics, Attensity, 360, Alterian, all of these are paid services that are out there. And when we matched them up side by side with Social Mention, which is a free website, we found that Social Mention was hitting it out of the park. And so we've since really divested of those paid services. And the nice thing about that is that means that every business owner, regardless of the size of your company, can use Social Mention to monitor your brand and the conversations that are happening with competitors. So that's an exciting thing. The other point that's kind of fun is really helping small business owners leverage Twitter, because I think that Twitter is one of those things that seems irrelevant to a lot of folks because it's such a fast-paced, small message platform. And with the location-based services and the fact that so many people are using Twitter for mobile devices, the neat thing is that using the advanced search feature that's built into Twitter, you can identify folks who are on Twitter within 25 miles of your location, can help you identify who to follow. You can set up feeds that help you look at of those groups of people near you, who's talking about the products or services that you're in. And so it's a really good strategic tool for small business owners in order to excel on Twitter. And then finally, just Facebook, as crazy as it seems, is a great tool for businesses of all sizes. And one of the things that we needed to do when we started here, the social media program for agents, was really change the way we talk about the social networks. And when we talk about Facebook today, we always talk about it in the context of being the largest referral network in the world. Every business owner, small business owner, understands the value of a referral and how if someone walks into your location and it's on the recommendation of someone they know, that's a hot lead. And so being able to kind of take that spin and interpret it, I think takes people to that next level.
Field.
Well, I think we've got a couple of great things going for us. The first is that American Family is unique among many of the top insurance providers in that they're internet-based companies. So their model doesn't have 3,800 agents that are out in the field. Now, we're in 19 states, and we have agents that are in local communities. If you're from Wisconsin, you know, there's a good chance that in your hometown, you know, within probably 10 minutes of where you live, there's an office with an American Family Insurance agent. And if you think about social networks, the biggest asset that you can have on any social network is people. And so the fact that we've got these people who have a history of social networking, they've just never done it online, is great. So when I approach an agent who might be, you know, 50+ years old and they're wondering what to do on social networks, it translates very simply to the way that they live and work outside of the internet. You know, they're well known in their communities, they're sponsoring teams and events, they're going to Rotary clubs and chambers, and so they're lifetime social networkers. It's just the opportunity for them to leverage the technology.
That.
Well, you know, I think you pointed to a great fact, which is trust is key. And one element of trust that I think is an advantage for us is that, you know, if something happens to your house or your car, you've got a face and a name and a place to go. And you can walk in the office and choose not to leave until you're satisfied with the level of service. So we've got that as an advantage against some of the national competitors that we have. And in fact, you know, there's some instances where, you know, you might have a policy in Indiana, but if you're trying to get service from an internet provider, you might have to drive to Illinois to get your car service. So it really helps to have a face along with it. And then the other part is consumer education. I think it's a benefit for American Family that we're one of the first insurance companies to really go full speed ahead into social media. When we did that, a lot of people asked, why the hell is an insurance company going on Facebook, and why do people care? And our response is, you know, we're all about protecting and celebrating families, and so we have a lot of really great consumer information videos so that it makes people more intelligent shoppers for insurance, regardless of whether they buy from us or from one of our competitors. It's an opportunity for us to, you know, spread the word, give them something that they'll value, and hopefully they'll remember that, you know, we were the experts that helped them out.
Is going to be.
Well, you know, I think that the first years have all been for everyone, exploration and infrastructure. So as well, or as many as there are of case studies of companies using social media, we've really only scratched the surface, and most of those case studies are really one-dimensional. So I think what we're going to really see is that social media will become part of the infrastructure of a marketing and a customer-focused organization. It will be the backbone to which kind of all of the other marketing activities are, you know, utilizing and integrated with. And I think that when that happens, it's going to really change things. I mean, the fact that when you're on social networks, that data that you're freely sharing is synchronized with, you know, account information, and it's just going to be that sense of wherever you go, people know who you are. And I know that for many of us who, you know, grew up, you know, decades ago, we were taught not to share information on the internet. And so it's really contrary to the way we are. But by sharing that information, the websites, the search engines, and the vendors that we deal with, the brands that we buy, will know enough about us so that we'll see fewer distractions. Brands that aren't relevant to us won't be reaching us by mistake, and those that really are a good fit are really going to have the tools they need to integrate in our lives.